Hi, in this video, we'll try to understand how we can accept digital inputs on ESP32. Digital inputs, when I say, it usually comes with a picture of a button, but we'll also try to understand what are the different digital inputs and what and how we can accept them on ESP32. Primarily, whenever we say digital input, yes, of course, our first discussion will be centered around how to connect a button externally to ESP32 so that we can have a switch input. And then we'll try to understand how we can accept the other digital inputs like coming from sensor or something like that. So let's get started. Now, for this session, I will not be having any presentation, but I would like to open my whiteboard for this because it will give me much more clarity to explain on a whiteboard. And I guess you would also find it easier to understand it. So, when you try to connect a switch to, let's say, any microcontroller, currently our discussion or scope is limited to ESP32. But in general, this discussion is valid to almost all the microcontrollers that you may ever use. Let's say this is some particular pin of microcontroller to which you want to connect a digital input. Let's not use pin number 13, let's say number 15. No confusions. Now, when we say we have to connect a switch, generally a circuit like this will come in our mind. Okay, so there is a switch connected to the pin. Other pin of the switch will go to some place. It can be either high or it can be either low, because a microcontroller can only understand the logic high or logic low. We have also discussed that the high usually means the VCC or VDD of controller and low usually means the ground of the controller. So, owing to the same discussion, if I connect it to 3.3 volt, the premise is when I press the switch, then the pin should get 3.3 volt. The problem becomes when you do not press the switch. What the microcontroller is supposed to know about this input. And this is really important to understand. You cannot keep the pin of your microcontroller floating, because if the pin is floating, it can be read as anything. It can be read as logic 1, it can be read as logic 0, or maybe you press it and it will forever remain logic 1. Unexpected things can happen in this situation. So you cannot afford to do that. You have to make sure that if the pin is not getting 3.3 volt, then it must be getting 0 volt from somewhere. And how do we ensure that? It is very simple. The concept is called as a pull down resistor. Pull down resistors means what? You will connect a high value resistor from this point, let's say 10K, towards ground. Now what happens because of this 10K resistor? What happens is very actually simple. The pin becomes connected to ground through this resistor. Therefore, the potential on this pin all the time is logic 0. All the time. When you press the switch, for that moment only, 3.3 volt gets connected to this pin, so it becomes logic 1, and a small tiny teeny 3.3 volt divided by 10K current flows through it, which would say, I think, would be very small, not to worry about it. So a small current will flow through this resistor towards ground and the controller pin will receive logic 1. The moment you lift this switch again, what happens? Your 3.3 volt is disconnected and the controller pin is again pulled down by this resistor towards ground and it becomes 0. This way you ensure that the pin will get logic 0 when the switch is not pressed. This concept is called as pull down resistor. Now in the similar way, if you are using or connecting your switch against ground, then you are supposed to use pull up resistor, which is like this, and the value should be same, a bigger value. So when you press the switch, the pin gets 0 potential, but when you do not press the switch, the pin is pulled up. This concept is called as pull-up resistor. The pin will remain high all the time because of this resistor being connected to 3.3 volt. The moment you press the switch, it will become low. The moment you release the switch, it will again become logical or 3.3 volt. So, understanding of this concept of pull up and pull down is important. Now, with microcontrollers like Arduino board and ESP32, there are some internal pull up and pull down resistors also. So, we may not need to connect them externally. But in a good industrial design, it's okay when you are using it for, let's say, experimental purpose, you can use the internal pull-ups and we'll see it how. But if you are planning to create a good industrial grade product, then you have to connect the external pull-up or pull-down resistor to ensure a smooth and seamless operation. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we'll see how we can do all these things on ESP32 and actually accept a logical input. Thank you for watching.